Hi guys, Luton here, and welcome back for some more Battlefield 4 Dragon's Teeth, and here we are on Propaganda Conquest. And Propaganda, the best map of the DLC. This map by far and away is the best map. It's awesome. It plays out so well, and everybody that I've spoken to says it plays out so well. I was talking with my team and the guys last night of about 10 people, and we all agreed it plays out excellent. There is so many things that's excellent about this game mode, whether you're playing it on Chainlink, Conquest Large, Conquest, even Capture the Flag apparently is really intense on this map. One of the main reasons is the huge amount of flanking opportunities. You can go through multiple lanes, you've got the huge avenue that runs right the way up through the map, you've got the quads so you can speed straight down there, get behind the lines, cap the bases. It's really good. And if you're just working even with 2 or 3 people, you can very easily just walk around other people. If you focus constantly on C, you're going to find that, you end up in these corridors and there's people locking them down. Do you know what the solution to that is? Just go around them. It's so simple. You just go around them, make a flank, get on the backside, put some spawn beacons down, whatever you want to do. It's just really good. And it provides that kind of fast, intense, sort of fluid gameplay, which is what objective play is all about. They're constantly moving around you, you have to counter that, you have to go back again. I've got another gameplay that we played last night of this, and I'll show that one probably tomorrow maybe. It played out really good. It was a shame actually, because it was like a high ticket round, and up for about 400 tickets. It was like, only 5 tickets between it for those first 400 tickets, and then my team got stuck back on E and they refused to move out of that area, and then surprisingly we lost the round. But overall it was a really good round, so I'll post that one up as well. But you know what the best thing is about this game mode, not this game mode but this map, is just that so long as everybody seems to fight really well, fight really hard, and I don't get that feeling of it being so much of a clusterfuck on so many situations, mainly because you have the ability to move around the map so well. So it tends to be that people are having these kind of on-off little, sparring fights here and there, and you can see right now, look how mixed up the map is. It's working really well. Oh yeah, moved loot in for balance. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Although, weirdly, it didn't seem... oh, that's right, I joined the... luckily, we've got teammates on both sides. Unlike some servers you find where the whole clan is stacked on one team, when I play, most of my clan actually play on either side. The reason we do that is because then it provides us with objective gameplay from both sides of the team. So what we tend to have is one squad on each side. And then that way, those squads can kind of motivate, push for the objective, get on the teams. Because if you put all of the... Okay, this is like the shortest streak with the GL ever. But anyway, if you put all of your squads, all of your teammates on the same team, unfortunately, it'd be great if we could do that and, just dominate the enemy team. And actually, I've got a hilarious... I've got one on Lumpy Garden, which I'm going to show as well, where we literally... we literally crucify them. It's so horrific. They absolutely get annihilated. And we did have, I think, more than one squad on the team, or maybe it was only like 6-7 guys. But anyway, and we thrashed them. It's got to be one of the only games in quite a while where I felt no shame whatsoever and no sympathy for literally spamming them into the base. It was just, and the main reason is because it was all their own fault. They had so many players that were just sniping and dicking around and just not really trying to push forward and not flanking, and so it was literally their own fault. It's not like they were trying and we just pinned them down. They weren't trying at all, and they suffered the consequences. I'll show you that one later because it literally is just, taking them down. Anyway, look at what's happening here. So we've moved all around the map, we've capped multiple bases, but just look at the map as we move around it. It's one of the best things about it. If you guys right now don't have the DLC, if you're waiting for it, you don't have premium, or maybe you just haven't decided whether or not to get this DLC, I would say definitely get this DLC. Propaganda is the best map of all, and then Sunken Dragon sucks, it's awful. Sunken Dragon is the worst map of the DLC. I hate it for multiple reasons, and I'm going to make a video talking about that. The other two are not too bad. Lumpy Gardens is quite nice, you can make some flanking and there's some interesting stuff going on there. Best Evolution we've had for a while as well. And then Pearl Market, it's fine actually. Pearl Market is pretty good. It's full on, really intense, quite close quarter battle action. loads and loads and loads of opportunity for flanking, a hell of a lot of vertical gameplay, but providing you play with a good squad and enough people, and you have the kind of twitch reflexes, you'll be totally fine. So yeah, overall, there's so much that's good about this DLC, and I love the hell out of it, really. I seriously do. It's one of the DLCs that I've much preferred for quite some time right now. Anyway, so we're defending here on D. This is quite a long gameplay, so that's why I'm kind of going off topic a little, because you'll probably find that we have less things to talk about going through this. But it's definitely true what I was saying before, and I was pleased on the last video to see so many of you guys agreeing with me about the helicopters. And do you know what was hilarious? After I made that video, we were playing last night, and exactly what I said would happen happened when we were playing Sunken Dragons, actually. Sunken Dragons. We were playing that, and we were playing just Conquest Large, and we were trying to cap the sea base on that, right? And the helicopter was just spamming us into the ground. It was high in the sky, double reppers. It was just invincible. And I said, this is so insane. We had a couple of guys trying to take it down with stingers. We had a couple of guys trying to RPG it. And we just, every time he started taking a bit of fire, he just flew in and around the building so he could get out of line of sight. And then obviously we've got other enemy to deal with while we're on the ground. So we can't focus all our time just on that one helicopter. And he stayed up for so long. It was like me on my Scout Storm video, where I just flew around forever and ever and ever, and I was just getting absolutely thrashed into the ground. Oh, I remember this. I had to change targets, look, and then come back on me. Damn you, Viper. I said to him at the time that, I was like, damn it, because I started firing at him, then he saw he moved away, so I had to switch target, took that other guy, and then, bam, anyway. So, here we go. Yeah, basically the scout helicopter, and it's just confirming my fears. You know, I'm starting to, it's really grinding on me more and more and more. The scout helicopter, it's just, nothing should be that hard to take down, you know? It's so stupid. I mean, what other vehicle can rep so intensely on the go like that? You've got the attack boats, but even that, the attack boats are limited to one repper. So basically, like, if you have enough fire coming in on that thing, one repper's not going to keep it up. I just feel like what they should do with the scout heli, I think this would probably solve a lot of the issues. Just close one door. Just close one door on the helicopter. They can still occupy the seat, but they just can't fire out of it or rep. Okay, that's all you need to do. Make the front seat and one of the rear seats like the front seat. So both of them, they're just like seats to occupy. They can't actually operate out from them. Problem solved. That would fix that issue whatsoever. You got the transport helicopter that can double rep, and that makes a lot of sense because it's not so powerful. But the scout helicopter, which is so powerful, how can that be a double rep? Like on the go, it's just OP. There's no other word for it. It's OP beyond belief. And I'm, you know, with all the changes that have been made to the game, I'm absolutely staggered that nothing has been done about it to this point in time. I'm also staggered that more people aren't sort of outraged about how ridiculously OP it is. But anyway, I mean, and the thing is as well, it's not me just kind of bitching because I got killed by it a lot. I've used it and posted videos of me absolutely wiping the enemy teams with that thing. So, you know, I love it. It's great. You know, if you get double reppers in it, you're basically invincible. And you can just, provided you're a pretty decent pilot, you can rack kills and get top score every single time. So it's not like I haven't used it and I don't sort of see the advantages with it. But it's just too much. It's too much. It fucks up so much gameplay as well. It causes so many problems. And then you find that basically you have like your whole team kind of like preoccupied trying to take the bloody thing down. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Whereas with Propaganda, Propaganda doesn't have that problem. And look at how it benefits for it. It's so good. And everybody was saying last night about it. And, you know, like I said before, Bad Company, blah, blah, blah. You know, it plays out very well like that. But it's just, so I've been at D apparently for quite a long time here. See, this is why I would normally edit footage, because when you've been at a base for a long period of time, it's not that interesting to watch. You know, it's kind of like, oh, here we go. But basically, I'm just sweeping the area. They kept sending in 1 on 2 players right here, so I'm just trying to keep continually making it safe before I move out, because I don't want to literally leave the base and it immediately start to get capped for, you know, people like Viper coming back in here. Don't want to have that happen. So there we go. Anyway, so look, here's the highway, and here's basically where, you know, the majority of your flanking opportunities come from. I mean, look at this thing. How could this not be, a flanking paradise? It's amazing. There's just so many pieces of cover, and not only that, if you were having some issues crossing the road because of snipers or whatever, drop that smoke like a boss. Just get it down on the ground, flank, move around. This SG-553, not always the best at this range. You know, my SG-553 is critically underpowered right now. I haven't used it enough, and there's more attachments I need to get for this thing. I actually like the SG-553. I like the look of it, I like the feel of it, I just generally like how it handles, apart from this kind of vertical recoil at extreme range. But yeah, I kind of prefer it. That's why I was using this round to kind of get back into it. I often try to kind of like mix up my weapons and stuff just to kind of remind myself how they feel and sort of, you know, the limitations, what I can do with them and so on and so on. You guys know that I'm not sort of a fanatic about weapons anyway. Oh, I remember this was a terrible moment. I think I absolutely fail at this right now. I can't remember. Yeah, he's coming. Do I get... Oh wait, no, I did get him. Okay. I seem to remember having like this horrific long-range noob fight with that guy, but actually it was fine. Anyway, we should probably go for A right now. If I was playing the game, that's what I would be thinking myself, mainly because it's the only base left to cap. Look, D flashing again. What is it with enemy teams? They love that D. They can't get enough. They can't get enough of the D. They've got to have it all for themselves. They want that D, you know, all day long. So I don't know what it is about the D, but they can't get enough. But they're back on it hard. We're pushing up on A right here. God, oh my god, do you know what? I just sounded like Pine. I just realised. What's happening to me? I just sounded like Pine Star for a moment right there. Oh, this was great. That was Webb. Oh, that was fantastic. Webb in my clan. You know, it was so great. I said to him afterwards, because you saw I was having that little fight with the guy on the left right there. And then he came around there and his head peaked and I was like, okay, what? And then I suddenly realised, I was like, oh man, that was him. He flanked, didn't he? Like, he realised that basically I was going to come back on it, and he flanked round to get a different point of view. So, good play by Webb there, really good. That's what you want to do. If you, golden rule, okay, if you peek a corner and get a couple of hits on some guy, don't go back to that corner, because 9 times out of 10, they'll probably be prone or lying or waiting for you. This was a wasted moment right there. I should have thrown the grenade first instead of... going, because this gun is not powerful enough to get those multi-kills, just absolutely not. I should have just thrown the grenade and gone for it, or maybe got a multi-kill on that guy. Anyway, no mind. Anyway, we're capping the base back, getting it back. Look at this thing, that's just, yeah, need to hit those targets. This is what I'm talking about. Need to practice with this gun a little bit, because I rarely use it. I do like it, but rarely use it. It seems pretty weak as well. I can imagine if I had some other weapons like the Scar H or something, I would have dropped that guy, no problem. So this gun doesn't perform particularly well at sort of long range, but sort of medium range and to an extent. It's kind of a mid-range weapon, I think, which is... I think it's not probably the best weapon for this map. I think I'd probably go with like the Scar H for this map, because the Scar H, you're going to have those long-range engagements, and with the Scar H you can just tap fire those guys, and provided you get a couple on target, he's going to go down anyway. With this gun, not so much. It tends to be the mid always. Right, back on the D. Got to get that D. Keep it for myself. Who was this flying the bloody UAV all the time? I can't remember. It was one of my guys. I don't know, that could be potentially useful, you know, having the UAV. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't tell me who it was, which is a shame. You know, flying the UAV on this map could actually be, you know, a positive thing, because if you think about sort of how spread out a lot of things are, provided obviously you could look at the map or whatever, but it could be a way of sort of communicating and identifying to your guys where people are moving, where they're pushing. Where if you had it, for example, placed on top of one of the buildings, and then every time you wanted to have a little peek, you just grab it, bing, pick it up, have a little look, put it back down. You could continually switch back and forth as just a way of kind of communicating and you know, finding out where they were moving to. So I might try that out for myself as well. Okay, so we're not that many tickets into this round. We've got a hell of a lot more to go yet. We've got half this round to go. Although, considering we've got like 600 tickets to go, half the time left is actually not that bad. We must burn through these tickets pretty quickly. But, so far, as I say, Propaganda, I think the reason I like it is because, as I say, for one thing, you've got some great lane action going on there. The other thing is that the actual bases that you fight around are all quite different. When you think about how each base on this map is sort of designed, they're all quite different in their sort of construction, apart from perhaps sort of B and D there. But C, you've got this kind of open market area. E, it's a little bit more close quarters. That was a great kill right there. Spawn kill of a different nature. Yeah, B and D are ridiculously close together as well. Look, you could imagine having like almost an entire game's firefight just between those two bases. And then A as well, it's this kind of open market sort of square place as well, so it's again a little bit different. But I think that's what I like about this map. This map is interesting because it plays out in a kind of almost, it's not linear, but it has a linear feel to it, because obviously it's a straight and narrow map with these kind of long avenues running through it. But what's interesting about it is that each sectional area is like its own kind of combat zone. So around each area, you kind of have these different fights. You have to sort of change up your tactics depending on where you're moving to. And it's not that common, I guess, to have that on some maps. Some maps can start to feel a little bit the same. For example, I would say probably Parasail Storm. Although each section of the map feels kind of different, you get the same dynamic of having kind of a bit of water around it, a few buildings around it, and it just kind of feels a little bit the same. Whereas on this map, I do find that the kind of space around the area, like when we come into sea here, see how much more open this is than some of the other areas? And I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's kind of like how open and how closed some of the other maps are. I don't think it's so much the kind of visual kind of construction of the areas, because obviously on nearly all maps the visual construction of each area is quite different, but it's much more that on this map it's the spaces. So C has got quite a nice large wide open space to it, so has A, it's quite wide and open. E, it's extremely claustrophobic, and B and D are kind of median, they're sort of in the middle, and they sort of have some buildings, some openness to them. So that kind of differentiation between the bases I think is what really helps this map feel kind of different, and helps you have to kind of, you know, change up your playability as you work through it. Whereas I say that if you think about a lot of other maps, when you think about space and sort of how those, you know, bases play out, a lot of them tend to be kind of very close quarters, very sort of middle of the road kind of arrangement, or they're sort of very wide open. So let's think about, for example, Gulf of Oman. If you think about Gulf of Oman, it's very much got that going on. If you think about the actual bases themselves in Gulf of Oman, they're all very much like of alike, apart from perhaps the hotel, but all the rest are very, very similar. You've got those first ones right down on the beachfront, they're the same as one another. They're basically just a little bit of an open space with some boxes, containers, and then all the rest are very much the same. You know, bam, bam, bam. They're all just in that built-up urban area. Now, that's to say I actually like Gulf of Oman, but the point is that spatially those bases are very, very similar. And then you can, if you look around other maps, it's very much, you know, the same thing. And so, and that's not a bad thing. You know, it doesn't really matter. But the point is that, you know, with this map, that's what I think is what's helping to make it play out better, is the fact that spatially the bases around, you know, on this map play out in a very different way. So you have this kind of changing fluidity between each section, where you have to kind of change up your playstyle and the way you approach those bases. That combined with the amount of flanking that you can have on this map, which is just so much. I mean, I can't remember any time at all when I played this map, be it on Conquest, Conquest Large, or Chainlink, or even Domination, where we really got kind of you know, lane trapped. There was no time I can imagine or remember where we were being sort of pinned down a corridor, because as soon as I saw some guy, like I'd peek around a corridor and I'd see a sniper, or I'd see a kind of guy bipod LMG, or I'd just see some guy just playing on camping, and as soon as I saw them I was just like, bam, okay, go around them, bam, shoot him in the back, no problem. You know, so it's a very, very easy thing to do on this map, is just flanking, getting around people. It's definitely not what I would say is like, it's absolutely, I mean, it's a very kind of avenue-based linear map, but it's absolutely nothing like what you would say on like Metro or any of those other kind of linear maps. It's not like that at all, because unlike Metro, you have so much opportunity for flanking on this map. You know, you can just literally go so many different ways. I mean, you can go through here, C, straight down the middle, you can flank to the right, you can flank on the avenue, you can flank through BD. I mean, how many different more ways do you want to do it? There's so much opportunity, and even if you're playing on a 64-player map, that, you know, the enemy are going to struggle to cover all those positions all at the same time. Not to mention the fact that if you're playing actually on a Conquest Large, you're going to have those MBTs as well, so you can use them for pushing down the main road, or, you know, at least putting some pressure on the enemy and kind of suppressing them down there. Another massive, like, I got in, but that was a massive fail as well. I practice with this gun because I do like it and I want to kind of improve a little bit. I haven't used this gun for probably months, which is probably why I'm quite rusty with it. That's always so satisfying to see right there. Okay, anyway. Why didn't I destroy that mortar? It's right there, Luton. Go back. Fucking idiot. Anyway, okay. Right, let's carry on. So, yeah, that's what I like about this map and this kind of game mode so far. And every game that I've had of this map, I have loved the hell out of it. And not just me, but all the people that I've played with. As I've been kind of, whilst these are my opinions, I've also been talking with the kind of 10, 15 guys that are playing with this, you know, for the last few evenings in my clan. And, you know, usually when I get on in the evening, I'll say to them, hey guys, so how are you finding it? How are you getting on with this? Any opinions? What do you think about this and this? They all love the hell out of this map. They all say it's awesome. And similarly, you know, with the others as well, the thing that we generally agree on is that Sunken Map sucks balls. Sunken Map What am I talking about today? I'm so all over the place. Sunken Dragon is terrible. We had a hilarious time playing normal Conquest on Sunken Dragon last night with the they've got the hovercraft. Why? Why would you put the hovercraft? I've got some gameplay of me literally just like see yet again. What the F was that, Luton? Seriously, absolute shambolic performance there. Piss poor. I had that gameplay of me wrecking with the AK, and this gun, the 5.53, I need to practice big time. Seriously, I need to practice big time. I need to unlock some more kit with it. That's probably half the problem actually. It's just kind of unlocking, but also my recoil compensation is piss poor with this weapon. I need to sort of adjust and get used to it. It's that's what I remember this moment. I came in there and I had my sort of recon spawn out, and I was just like, yeah, not ready for this. Oh, okay. Totally did not anticipate that guy being there right there. Anyway, that was bad luck. But yeah, need to improve on that one. But anyway, so coming back with this, yeah, they got the hovercrafts on Sunken Dragon, and I am baffled as to why. I mean, they're hilarious. You know, it's ridiculous. It's like trying to play air hockey. But why? It's just it's so baffling beyond belief. I'll show you the gameplay. I think I recorded it, unless it was part of my period where I was kind of just dicking around later in the evening because we'd kind of played quite a few games, and I should point out that my team were making it the majority of the server, so it's not like I was ruining some games. But anyway. So anyway, let's get back on this. Right, getting picked off here. Thank you for that, Mr. QBU. And we're just continuing to conquest this up. As you can see, the team's full right now. This is the 64. And this is the interesting thing is that, like I said, this is a 64. Now, right now you can see it's all kind of going on at different bases. But even with 64 players, this map doesn't feel kind of over-concentrated. You know, you don't feel, thanks Struts, this doesn't feel kind of over claustrophobic. You don't feel like, oh my god, there's 64 people and where do we go? The main reason is because everyone's moving around the map so well. And also, if you look at the map right now, you'll see that whilst there is a lot of firefight happening at sea, it's not an over concentration. And it's not like, you know, I think what happens a lot of times in Battlefield, and people have commented about this. Do you know what as well? Like, I've often seen people say like, oh, you know, people often cap the first bases and they just rush the middle, and it's just a massive sort of team deathmatch in the middle. I haven't seen that so far on this game mode. I may see a few more people at sea, but for the most part, like we saw, I mean, you saw at the beginning there, B and D just constantly into contention and just trying to fight those off all the time. I haven't seen it so much. I haven't seen that these. I mean, look at the map right now. It's you know, there's a huge fight going on at D right here. There's a few other people dotted around the map, and so you just don't find that you have that kind of concentration of players. And I think there's often a concern with maps like this that could happen because obviously, as I say, it's kind of an avenue map. So you're going to have sort of almost sequentially sort of moving up onto targets. You go from sort of point to point, you reach the middle, and then everybody has a fight at the middle. But I don't really find that that's the way this map plays out. It's certainly not the way that I play it. Certainly not the way that... Oh, look at this bit right here. All the guys rushing over. I said it's like sort of like some Russian, you know, like imagine like this sort of, you know, the storming of Stalingrad. They're like, come on, let's go. Look at them all. That's one thing that's great about 64 is when you see this kind of moment right here, everybody pushing forward and they're like, get onto the objective. Everyone's fighting in. You know, funny though what I was just saying about like nobody all going for C, and now look what's the whole team going for C. No, we're flanking off down to E here, I think. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm going for C. Yeah, I think I'm going for C here. Because they've all kind of vacated, so we wanted to go in and just cap it. This thing kicks like a bitch, seriously. Double kill. Oh my god, they're all there. Jesus, well, they got 4 people in that little corridor thing right there. It's a really bad plan. If you're playing this map or any map and you see like 3 or 4 people together like that, for the love of God, get out of there. You don't want to be that close to 3 or 4 other people. In fact, there was an amazing... Oh, do you know what? I've just thought of a great thought for the day. It was from a domination game I was playing the other day. We were playing and we got to the B objective, and there's 4 guys just standing right next to each other, and I just cut them all down. And it was like, Jesus, guys, if you just spread out a little bit, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do that. It's just like they put the pressure onto themselves. That was yet again another fail. And I'm really sucking this round. See, this is the thing about doing unedited gameplay. You really show, you know, kind of like the pain and the good stuff. But overall, it kind of provides a better picture. I mean, I watched like 3 or 4 other producers' videos today before I started recording this. And all of them just cut highlight footage of them kicking ass. And I was like, man... Why don't you just put a round in? Why do you have to always cut it together so that it just shows your very, very best moments? I know that's kind of like what people want to see, but I can't help but feel it just... You know, that's the thing is like as well, it's like... when I have moments that I do bad, or for example, okay, I was in some gameplay this week where I was on a server, and one of my subscribers was in my squad, just happened to be in this squad, and he was saying to me, he's like, "Damn, Luton, you're going negative. What's happening?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, that'll happen." That happens sometimes, Sometimes you're in a round and you just can't get started. It happens to everybody, Sometimes you spawn in and you die, spawn in and you die, spawn in and you die. In fact, I've got a gameplay coming up later on of Pearl Market, and you'll see at the end of the round, I just can't get a break. Like, I'm top of the board and I was doing fine, but at the end of the round, I spawn in so many times and I just get killed. And there's nothing I can do about it, It's just like, see, look, right here, kicked ass, came up on that guy, bam, dropped him, get in, drop him. But then I have another moment where, bam, I get shot in the back twice, or I come on the corner and I fuck it up. It just happens, And I've said so many times before, I'm not the best player in the world by far and away, but I can more than admit my mistakes. And I think as well that comes from me playing WoW. Like, I always sort of, sorry, everyone's like, shut up about WoW, Luton. No, seriously though, when I play WoW, one of the best things about that game was that the clan that I was in, or the guild, as a team, and when we were playing objectives, when we were playing sort of, the content of that game, one of the key things is you couldn't hide your errors. You had to discuss it as a team, because that was the key to success, was to be able to sort of say, yep, that was me, I totally fucked up. And I feel very much like with Battlefield. I don't feel ashamed or bothered by the fact that sometimes I screw up, or by the fact that, like, I'll have some rounds where I go negative. It doesn't matter. Fucking doesn't matter. I also have moments where I absolutely thrash the enemy into the ground. I also have moments where I perform amazing flanks and I totally take the objectives, and those help win the round. And I have so many moments that I do that are absolutely awesome. And I have so many moments where I make the break that other people do not, and I get behind the lines and I do what needs to happen. And meanwhile as well, I'm always often communicating and trying to command like 4, 5 or 10 other players all in the game, all trying to help them, trying to be tactically aware. And all of those things happening at the same time. And then it's like, then you think I care if I fuck up one of my gun plays, or that like I have one round where I go negative? I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you as a player appreciate and enjoy what it is that you are doing, and that you enjoy the map that you're doing, and that you enjoy the people that you're playing with, and that you have some good objective gameplay, in my opinion anyway. And that's what matters. So getting these kind of elite, epic shot stuff, and it's yet again why I kind of feel so alienated by the way in which DICE and EA are constantly going on about, like, let's see your elite get played. It's great. It's great for, it's like, do you know what it is? It's flashbulb gameplay. It's flashbulb. And for those of you that don't know flashbulb, because it's kind of old school thing, flashbulb is basically on old school cameras. They would just have one bulb that they would screw into the camera, and when they used it, it was gone. And that's what this kind of gameplay is like. It's flashbulb. It's like, bam, amazing, and then it's gone. And that's what people say. Some people have like a flashbulb smile, usually celebrities, where they kind of smile really nicely and then it's back to like straight face, because they're just like, they don't really care. It's just for show. And that's what a lot of this kind of elite gameplay is like. It doesn't really matter. It's just for show. It's kind of like some crazy moment. And it's awesome when it happens. You're like, oh my god, it's so amazing. But it's just a flash, it's just a moment, and it doesn't represent the majority of the gameplay, and it doesn't represent what the rounds and the games are really about, from my personal point of view, Anyway, so getting back onto the conquest right here. So you can see, again, this has kind of become more interesting right here. Oh no, I got roared! Oh no, I got wallied. Shocking. Guy using the riot shield there, look as well. And there we are, win the round. Finally thrashed them down. So there we go, that was that gameplay, guys. What do you think? I got the riot shield as well, so I'm going to try that out, see how we get on with it. Try it out on Pearl Market, see how we do with that one. So a bit of a rambly one, but what do you expect for a 30-minute video? Propaganda, the basic conclusion is that it kicks ass. I love it. Plays out so well, plays out so differently on so many different maps, so many different modes, I should say. It's just awesome all around. Let me know your thoughts about it. How do you find it? How do you find it's a game mode? Has it played out for you? The good and the bad? Drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Loads more stuff coming up very soon. I'll see you next time. Battlefield 4.